Today I want to get into this article by the Brookings at brookings.edu. It's called A Call for a Transformative Agenda for Women for 2020 and Beyond. In this brief, we call for the global community to propose a new transformative agenda for women for 2020 and beyond, to realize the gains in gender equality to date and to push for advances in areas of lack of progress. We believe U.S. development assistance will be critical to realizing this vision. Fourth World Conference on Women, Peace and Security in Beijing, 1995. Nearly 25 years ago, more than 47,000 women and men from all corners of the world made their way to Beijing and Hyrule, I believe that is, China, to issue a historic global call to action for women's empowerment and gender equality. Over 17,000 participants, including government delegates, accredited NGO representatives, international civil servants, and media representatives, gathered for the Fourth World Conference on Women, Peace and Security. An additional 30,000 globalist activists met in Hyrule, a district outside of Beijing's center city, to hold an energetic and powerful parallel NGO forum. Voices of women and men working for justice were heard throughout the 11-day conference, including Mother Teresa, Benazir Bhutto, and Bella Abzug. Also present was Hillary Clinton, then U.S. First Lady, who famously declared that human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights. Okay? So this was a statement put forth by Hillary Clinton back in 1995 at this conference. She stated, human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights. Okay, so let's analyze that. That is true. Women have the same rights that every other human is entitled to. But let's continue on to see what this statement meant from their perspective. Spirits soared as the emergent global women's movement united with 189 member states to promote and adopt the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, which set forth a framework for working to achieve gender equality and women's empowerment. The groundbreaking document identified 12 critical areas that governments, the international community, and civil society agreed to prioritize to achieve the empowerment of all women: the environment, poverty, education, health, violence, armed conflict, economy, power and decision making, institutional mechanisms, human rights, media, and the girl child. So what does that mean? They set forth 12 areas that they want the government, the international community, and civil society to focus on. And under the guise of empowering women, these things are the environment, hence climate change, poverty, hence basically government handouts and taxation, education, the indoctrination of the mind of your child, health, vaccines, forced chemo and other so-called therapies, violence, the so-called justice system, armed conflict, weapons is what that means, economy, money, the change of money through hands. They want to control it. And what's next? Power and decision making. See, that's the root of all these other things. It all comes back to power and decision making. Institutional mechanisms. Human rights. You don't have the right to control human rights. Human rights just exist because we're human, and it's our right. So, media That's why we see the crazy news stories that we do, and the girl child. That's just to reinforce the idea that this is about women. Okay, so the Beijing Declaration continues to provide guidance as a blueprint for achieving gender equality and women's empowerment. Next time we will visit part 2, progress and challenges for women.